Hello my scholars, you are welcome to my school channel. My name is Frank, and in this lesson video we'll be solving JAMB CBT mathematics past question for the year 2023. Please do not go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back to my school channel. So in today's video we are going to be providing solution to question 1 to question 20. So let's begin with question 1. How many different 8-letter words are possible using the letters of the word syllabus? So the word syllabus can be arranged in 8 factorial ways because the word syllabus contains 8 letters. So those 8 letters can be arranged in 8 factorial ways. So that will give us 8 factorial. Okay, but in the word syllabus we have 2 L's and 2 S's. So the 2 L's can be arranged in 2 factorial ways, and the 2 S's can also be arranged in 2 factorial ways. So to get the different 8-letter words that are possible from the letters of the word syllabus becomes 8 factorial divided by 2 factorial 2 factorial. So this becomes our answer. Okay, 8 factorial over 2 factorial 2 factorial. So our final answer is option C. Question 2. Evaluate 16 raised to power 0.16 times 16 raised to power 0.04 times 2 raised to power 0.2. Okay, so this is an indicical question. This question is from indices. So basically to solve this problem, we have to apply the laws of indices. Okay, and before we can apply the laws of indices here, we must make sure that the basis, okay, all the basis of these numbers must be the same. Okay, so what we have to do here is we have to express 16 in index form, okay, so that it will have the same base as 2. So 16 is in index form is the same thing as 2 raised to power 4. Okay, it's the same thing as 2 raised to power 4. So bracket 0.16 then times 2 raised to power 4, because we still have 16 here, bracket 0.04 times 2 raised to power 0.2. Now as you can see on the board, now all our bases are now the same. So the next step is, let's first of all multiply out our powers. So this will give us 2 raised to power 4 times 0.16 is the same thing as 0.64. Okay, then here 4 times 0.04 is the same thing as 0.16 times 2 raised to power 0.2. Okay, now that we have multiplied out our powers, the next thing is to actually apply the multiplication law of indices. So according to this law, if the bases are the same, you just take one of the bases, then you sum up the powers. So if I should add this together, the powers together, which is 0.6, okay, so let's write it, 2 raised to power 0.64 in bracket plus 0.16 plus 0.2 all in bracket. So if we sum these numbers up, that will be equals to 1. Okay, and 2 raised to power 1 is the same thing as what? As 2. Okay, so looking at our option, option A is our correct answer, 2. Question 3. Let star and delta be 2 binary operations such that A star B is equals to A square B and A delta B is equals to 2A plus B. Find bracket open minus 4 star 2 delta bracket open 7 star minus 1. So to solve problem like this, we simply apply the idea of substitution. Of course, what this is telling us here is that they're actually telling us that A is equals to minus 4 and B is equals to 2. Okay, the same with the other side. So let's move over to the board. So A star B, according to the question, is equals to A square B, while A delta B is equals to 2A plus B. So we are asked to find minus 4 star 2 in bracket delta 7 star minus 2 in bracket. So now we know that A star B is equals to A squared B. So what we simply do here is just simple substitution. So anywhere we see A, we replace it with minus B. So we are going to do it for both sides. Okay, so minus 4 in bracket raised to power 2 dot 2. Okay, so this will give us 16 times 2, which is equal to 32. Okay, so we can do the same for the other side of the bracket. So if we do the same, we'll be having 7 squared times minus 1. So 7 squared will give us 49 times minus 1. So 49 times minus 1 will be equals to minus 49. Okay, now we now move to the second part. So the second part is for us to just substitute. Of course, these values that you are seeing here, the 32 and the minus 49, also stands for A and B to enable us find A delta B. Okay, so 2A plus B. Of course, we know that our A is equals to 32. So this will be 2 brackets 32 plus minus 49. Okay, now 2 times 32, that will equals to 64. Then minus times plus, that will give us minus 49. So 64 minus 49, that will be equals to 15. Let's move back to the screen to check the correct option. So A is minus 49, B is 64, C is 113, and D is 15. So the correct option is D, 15. Question 4. Evaluate the integral of 4x minus 6 cube root of x squared dx. Of course, this is an integral problem, so we are going to be integrating. So when we are integrating, what we normally do is that the x, or the value of the unknown, the power of the unknown, we usually add 1 to it and use it to divide the 10. Okay, so let us rewrite this question. So we can rewrite this question as the integral of 4x minus 6 x raised to power 2 over 3. Okay, dx. Of course, our limit. So this and this, they are the same. Okay, so let us integrate. So this will be equals to 4x raised to power 2 divided by 2. So what I actually did here was to add 1 to the power of x. So if I should add 1, of course, the power of x here is 1. Plus extra 1, that becomes 2. So I will divide the term by 2. So I will do the same thing to 6x raised to power 2 over 3. So I will add 1 to my 2 over 3. So here I'll be having minus 6x raised to power 5 over 3. Then applying our limit. Okay, divided by 5 over 3. Of course, 2 can divide 4. So here we'll be having 2x squared. Okay, minus, so of course this is going to invert, so we are going to be having 18x raised to power 5 over 3 over 3. Okay, then we apply our limit. Okay, so if we apply our limit, we will be having 2 brackets 1. Of course, this is our upper limit and this is our lower limit. So this will be 2 brackets 1 raised to power 2 minus 18 bracket 1 raised to power 5 over 3 over 3. Okay, so this is our upper limit. We put it in bracket. Then minus then our lower limit. So this becomes 2 bracket 0 raised to power 2 minus 18 bracket 0 raised to power 5 over 3 over 3 in bracket. Okay, if we tidy up this, we'll be having minus 8 over 5 minus, of course, 0. This whole side is going to give us 0 since we are substituting 0. Any number times 0 is 0. So at the end of the day, our answer becomes minus 8 over 5. So let's go to our option and see. So option A, we have minus 5 over 8. Option B, we have minus 8 over 5. Option C is 8 over 5. And option D is 5 over 8. So our answer, or the correct answer, is option B, minus 8 over 5. Question 5. The population of a village decreased from 1,230 to 1,040 due to breakout of an epidemic. What is the percentage decrease in the population? So let's move over to the board. So from our question, we know that the original population is equals to 1,230 and the new population is equals to 1,040. So why did we choose 1,230 as the original population? Okay, it's because of the word from. The word from there is telling us or is indicating beginning. Okay, that is the reason why we choose 1,230 as our original population. But in the question, we are asked to calculate percentage decrease in the population. So percentage decrease in population, percentage decrease in population is equal to change in population over original population times 100 over 1. Okay, of course our change in population means original population minus the new population. So that would be 1,230 minus 1,040. Okay, over the original population 1,230 times 100 over 1. So 1,230 minus 1,040 will be equals to 190. So we'll be having 190 divided by 1,230 times 100 over 1. Of course, 0 we cancel 0. So if we manipulate this further, we'll be having 15.45%. So let's move over to the screen and see. So option A, we have 15.44%. Option B, we have 15.43%. Option C, we have 15.42%. And option D, we have 15.45%. So from our calculation, we actually got 15.45%. So option D is the correct answer. Question 6. The interior angle of a regular polygon is 5 times the size of its exterior angle. Identify the polygon. So let's move over to the board. Okay, so we must not forget that the sum of angles in a regular polygon is given as n minus 2 times 180. Okay, so if you are looking for one of the interior angle, that would be n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. Okay, so a single interior angle is equals to n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. Okay, the question also made mention of exterior angle. Okay, but don't forget that the sum of exterior angles of a regular polygon is given is equals to 360. So to get a single exterior angle, we divide the sum by the number of sides, which will be 360 divided by n. But according to the question says one interior angle is equals to 5 times one exterior angle. So this will be n minus 2 in bracket times 180 over n is equals to 5 times 360 over n. So we simply solve this to get the value of n because we are asked to identify the polygon according to the question. So we open up this bracket. Okay, so to open up this bracket, we use what we have outside the bracket to multiply everything we have inside. So 180 times n will give us 180n. Then 180 times minus 2, that will give us minus 360n all over n. Okay, of course, this will multiply out 5 times 360. So that will give us 1,800 over n. Of course, whenever we are having two fractions like this, what we simply do is we cross multiply. So we're going to cross multiply out. So if we cross multiply out, this will give us 180n squared minus 360n is equals to 1,800n. Of course, we have like terms here, so we simply collect like term. So we are going to move 360n to the other side. Okay, so this becomes 180n squared is equals to 1800n plus 360n. Okay, so this finally becomes 180n squared is equals to 2160n. Okay, since there is n here and there's other n here, so the n can cancel out. So we'll be having 180n because we have n squared here. So if I cancel out one n, I still have one n left. So on my right hand side, I will be having 2160. Of course, we are asked to identify the polygon, which is actually the number of sides of the polygon. Okay, so to get that, which is n, so n becomes 2160 divided by 180, and that will be equals to 12. So let's move over to the screen, okay, to see our answer. Now, it is important that because what you are seeing, the options is not given to us in figure, but they are given to us in words. So it's important that we understand what each of those words mean. Okay, so the first one we have dodecagon. Okay, dodecagon simply means a polygon with 12 sides. Okay, and B we have ennedecagon. So the ennedecagon means a polygon with 19 sides. While icosagon simply means a polygon with 20 sides. And the last one, which is D, hendecagon simply means a polygon with 11 sides. So from our calculation, our answer is A, dodecagon, meaning 12 sides. Question 7. The area A of a circle is increasing at a constant rate of 1.5 centimeters squared per second. Find to three significant figures the rate at which the radius R of the circle is increasing when the area of the circle is 2 centimeters squared. So let's move over to the board. This question is a differentiation question. Okay, so we're actually looking for the rate of change of radius. So, and it's given as the arrow all over the t, which is equals to the a all over the t times the arrow all over the a. Okay, but the a, the t is equals to 1.5 centimeter square per second. Okay, according to our question. Now, the arrow over the a is also equal to the inverse of the a all over the arrow. Okay, it's equals to the inverse of the a all over the arrow. But we know that area of a circle is given as pi arrow square. So if we differentiate the a, we differentiate the area with respect to arrow, we'll be having 2 pi arrow. Therefore, we can say that our d arrow, the a, is equals to 1 over 2 pi arrow. Now, in the question 2, we were told that the area of the circle is equals to 2 centimeters squared. So, if area of circle, which is pi arrow square, is equals to 2 centimeters. Now, from here, we can get the value of arrow, okay, because we need it. So, dividing both sides by 2 pi, we'll be having arrow square is equals to 2 divided by pi. Okay, so that r is equals to root 2 all over pi. Of course, we know that the value of pi, is 22 over 7. Okay, so if we plug in that value here, or 3.142. So if we plug in the value here, we'll be having r to be equals to root 2 divided by 3.142. And that will be equals to 0.798 centimeter. Okay, so that is the value of the radius. So let's substitute every values that we have here into our formula. So from the question, we know that the a dt is equals to 1.5. Okay, so let's start from here. The arrow dt is equals to the a all over dt times the arrow all over the a. So let's put in our values. Now from the question, the a dt is equals to 1.5. Okay, and we know that our the arrow over the a is equals to 1 over 2 pi arrow. So we put our 1 over 2 pi arrow. But our arrow is equals to 0.798. So we simply substitute. So this will be 1.5 times 1 over 2 times 3.142 times 0.789. Okay, so if we tidy this up, our answer is going to be 0.299 centimeter per second. Okay, so let's head over to the screen and see if our answer is there. So the correct option, according to our calculation, the correct option is D, which is 0.299 centimeter per second square. Do you know you can take practice question with our simulated JAMB CBT past question? All you have to do is to click on the link in the description below, and that will take you to Myschool website. There you have to download Myschool mobile app for your Android devices and Myschool software for your laptops and computer. Please go ahead and keep practicing. Moving on to question 8. Make S the subject of the formula y is equals to 3s minus 9c over 4x plus 5d. So let's head over to our board. So we are asked to make S the subject of formula of this equation. Okay, of course this fraction can be rewritten as y over 1 is equals to 3x minus 9c over 4x plus 5d. So whenever you have two fractions equated to one another, what you simply do is you cross multiply. So in this case, we are going to be cross multiplying. Okay, so we will cross multiply. So if we cross multiply, y is going to be multiplying 4x plus 5d. So that will give us 4xy plus 5dy. And this will be equal to, of course, 1 times any number still remains that number. So this will be equals to 3x minus 9c. Now, since we want to make S the subject of formula, what we simply have to do here is to make sure that we have all the s's or all the terms with s's on one side. So we'll move this s to this side. So that will give us 4xy minus 3x. Of course, this 5dy, we'll move it to the other side because we want just the s to be on one side. So this will give us minus 9c minus 5dy. Okay, of course. Now, if you check this algebraic expression very well, you find out that s is common between both terms. So we can factor out s. So s comes out and we'll be having 4y minus 3. Y on this other side, no problem, it can still remain the same. Okay, since we want to make S the subject of formula, what we simply do is we divide both sides by the coefficient of x. Okay, and the coefficient of x here is 4y minus 3. So if we divide here by 4y minus 3, we also do the same to our right hand side. We divide it by 4y minus 3. Okay, so this, we cancel this out so that S is equals to minus 9c minus 5dy all over 4y minus 3. Of course, if you check the numerator of this algebraic fraction very well, you discover that we can still factor out minus because we are having minus 9c and here too we are having minus 5dy. So what is common between these two terms is minus, so we can factor it out. So if we factor minus out, we'll be having 9c plus 5dy all over 4y minus 3. So this becomes our final answer. So our final answer is x is equals to bracket minus bracket open 9c plus 5dy over 4y minus 3. So let's move over to our screen to pick the correct option. Okay, so for our calculation, the correct option is D. S is equals to minus bracket open 9c plus 5dy over 4y minus 3. I believe you are enjoying this video lesson. If yes, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and put on the notification bell to get informed as soon as we upload new videos. Question 9. Solve for s. 3 bracket open x minus 1 is less than or equal to 2 bracket open s minus 3. So let's move over to our board. Okay, so we are asked to solve for x. Of course, whenever you are given such question as this, first thing first is to open your bracket. And remember, the same way you treat equal tos, that is how you treat inequality. So we are basically going to do the same thing, okay, as if we are solving equation. So we open the bracket. First step is to open the bracket. So use what you have outside to multiply everything you have inside. So this will give us 3x minus 3 is less than or equal to, of course, we open the second bracket. That will give us 2x minus 6. Now, next step is to collect like terms because we have 3x and we also have 2s on the other side. So we collect like terms. So we move this 2s to this side. So this will be 3s minus 2s. Of course, because our 2 here is positive. So once it crosses your inequality sign, it's going to change to plus, just like when it crosses the equal to sign. Okay, so we move this minus 3 to the other side, and basically that will change to plus. So put less than or equal to, and that will be minus 6 plus 3. So 3s minus 2 will be equals to x, then it's less than or equal to minus 3. So our answer is x is less than or equal to minus 3. So let's move over to our screen and see if our option is there. So from what we did on the board, okay, from the calculation we did on the board, the answer to our question is A. S is less than or equal to minus 3. Question 10. The diagram above is a circle with center C. P, Q, and S are points on the circumference. PS and SR are tangents to the circle. Angle PSR is equal to 36 degrees. Now we should find angle PQR. Okay, so the line SP is a tangent to a circle. Okay, when a straight line just touches the circumference of a circle, such line is referred to as tangent. Okay, so for this question, we have two lines that just touch this circle. And you also discover that these two lines actually met at a point that is external to the circle. So according to circle theorem, those two lines are equal. Okay, so if these two lines are equal, then we can simply say, or we can say that angle SPR is an isosceles triangle. And we know that the base angles of isosceles triangles are equal. So let's move over to our board and do some calculation there. So from what we have analyzed on the screen, we know that angle S is equals to 36 degrees. Okay, but angle P is equals to angle R. Okay, of course, the reason is base angles. Okay, base angles of an isosceles, okay, isosceles triangle. Okay, that is the reason. Okay, that is the reason. So angle X plus angle P plus angle R is equals to 180. Of course, we know that the sum of angles in a triangle is equals to 180. So let's impute the values that was given to us. So angle S equals to 36 degrees plus, of course, since these two angles are the same, so we can represent them with any letter of our choice. So we can say angle P is equals to X, and angle R is also equals to 180 degrees. So summing up this, we'll be having 36 plus 2s is equals to 180 degrees. So we collect like terms. Okay, we'll collect like terms. So 2s will now be equals to 180 degrees minus 36. And that will be equals to 144. Okay, 144. So 2s is equals to 144. So to get the value of s, we divide both sides by 2. Okay, we divide both sides by 2, which is the coefficient of x. So s, we cancel out s. Sorry, 2 we cancel out 2, so that s is equals to 72. Okay, 72 degrees. Let's move back to the screen. So since angle P is 72 degrees, angle R02 is also 72 degrees. Remember that angle P and angle R, they are base angles of an isosceles triangle. But here we are going to as well apply another circle theorem. So that circle theorem states that, of course, this line ROQ, this line ROQ is a chord, okay, and S arrow is a tangent. So according to circle geometry, it says that the angle formed between tangent and a chord, which is, this is a tangent and this is a chord. So there's an angle formed here, okay, and the angle formed here is what? Is 72 degrees. So actually we are asked to find angle Q, which is this part, okay. So the angle formed by a tangent and a chord is equals to the angle in the opposite segment. So what we have here, the angle here is opposite to here. So if here is 72, that means our angle here is also equal to 72. Okay, of course, my reason is based on circle theorem. So you can just do this. So this is the tangent and this is the chord. So you can place your hand like this and trace down. So if here is 72, then this point or this angle here will also be 72. So from what I've said so far, our answer is A, which is 72 degrees. Question 11. If a car runs at a constant speed and takes 4.5 hours to cover a distance of 225 kilometers, what time will it take to run 150 kilometers? So of course, from the question, we know that it took the car 4.5 hours. Okay, 4.5 hours to cover a distance of 225 kilometers. So how many hours will it take the car to cover 150 kilometers? We don't know, so we can replace here with X. So we just cross multiply. So if we cross multiply, we'll be having S is equals to 4.5 times 150 divided by 225. Okay, and this will amount to 3 hours. Okay, this will amount to 3 hours. So the correct option is option C, 3 hours. Question 12. Divide 1101001 in base 2 by 101 in base 2. So let's move over to the board. Of course, we are going to be using the long division method. That will make it easier and faster for us. Okay, of course, we are dividing with a 3-digit number. So we'll first of all try it with the first 3 digits here. So the first 3 digits here is 110. So 101 into 110, that will be equals to 1. Okay, then we use that 1 to multiply our 101 and write it under the 110. So this will give us 101. Then the next step is to subtract. Okay, so if we subtract, of course, 0 minus 1 cannot. So we have to borrow 1 from this one. But since we're operating in base 2, any one that we borrow is equals to 2. Okay, so we'll be having 2 here, and we have 0 left here. So 2 minus 1, that will give us 1. Then 0 minus 0 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So the next step is we bring this down. We bring this one down. Now we divide again. So 101 into 11, of course, cannot. So we write down 0 here, and we bring down this 0. So we are now having 110. Okay, so 101 into 110, that will give us 1. Then 1 times 101, that will give us 101. Then as usual, we subtract. Okay, so we do the same thing. 0 minus 1 cannot. So definitely we will borrow 1 from this one here. So remember, the one, since we're operating in base 2, the one we are borrowing will be equal to 2. So this place now becomes 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Then we'll have 0 left here. So 0 comes down and 0 comes down. 1 minus 1 is 0. Of course, the next step is we bring down the 0. Okay, so we bring down the 0 and we divide again. Okay, so 101 into 10 will also give us 0. Then we bring down the next one or the last one. Okay, so 101 into 101, that will give us 1. So therefore we can say 1101001 divided by 101 all in base 2 is equals to 10101 in base 2. So let's move over to the screen to choose our answer. So from our calculation, we can say our correct answer is D, which is 10101 in base 2. Question 13. If 3 minus root 3 over 2 plus root 3 is equals to A plus B root 3, what are the values of A and B? So let's head over to the board. Of course, this question is from surd. Okay, so if you are given a surd of this nature, basically what you have to do is to rationalize the denominator. Okay, and to rationalize the denominator of surd of this nature, what you simply do is that you multiply the denominator and the numerator by the conjugate of the denominator. Okay, by conjugate of a surd, what we simply imply is difference in sign here. Okay, so instead of using plus to multiply both the numerator and denominator of this surd, we simply change the plus sign here to minus sign. So this becomes 3 minus root 3 over 2 plus root 3 is equals to, or times times 2 minus root 3 all over 2 minus root 3. Okay, so we multiply out. Of course, to multiply the denominator, of course, we already know that these are difference of 2 square. Okay, so to simplify the difference of 2 square is quite easy. So here our denominator becomes 2 square minus root 3 square. Okay, so let's multiply out the numerator. So for the numerator, we'll be having 3 times 2. That will give us 6. Then 3 times minus root 3. That will give us minus 3 root 3. Then minus root 3 times 2. That will give us minus 2 root 3. That will give us minus 2 root 3. Then minus root 3 times minus root 3. That will give us plus 3. Okay, because minus times minus will give us plus. And root 3 times root 3 will give us root 9. And root 9 is equals to 3. Of course, these two surds here, they are similar surds. Okay, because the irrational part of these two surds are the same. So we can add or subtract as the case may be. So our numerator becomes 6 minus 5 root 3 plus 3. Of course, we can add this to, let us add straight. Okay, let us add straight. So 6 plus 3, that will give us 9 minus, okay, of course, these two surds are similar surds like I said earlier on. So we can add the rational part and then take one of the irrational part. So this will be 5 root 3 all over 4 minus 3, which is equals to 9 minus 5 root 3 all over 1. Of course, any number over 1 still remains that number. So we cannot compare this value, okay, with what is given to us in the question. Okay, so by comparison, we find out that A is equals to 9 and B is equals to minus 5. So let's head straight to the screen and see if our answer is there. So from our calculation, we got A is equals to 9 and B is equals to minus 5. The correct option to this question is A. Okay, A is equals to 9 and B is equals to minus 5, which is exactly what we got from our calculation. Question 14. Find the value of T if the distance between the point P, bracket open minus 3, comma, minus 14, and Q, bracket open T, comma, minus 5, bracket close, is 9 units. So let's head over to the board and do justice to that question. Okay, so we are asked to find the distance between 2 points. Okay, we should find T. T is one of the points, so we should find the distance between those 2 points if the distance has been given to us to be equals to 9. So we know that distance between 2 points, in this case, the 2 points are P and Q. So we know that distance between 2 points PQ is given as root x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. Okay, so let's write out the P points. So for the P points, we have minus 3 and minus 14. For our Q point, we have T and minus 5. Of course, the coordinate of a point is always X and Y. Okay, so here actually stands for X1 and the other one is Y1. Y here stands for X2 and the last one stands for Y2. Okay, so what we simply do, we just substitute our value into the formula. So we know that PQ is equals to 9. So leave 9 there. Then roots, bring in our value. S2 is equals to T. Okay, so this is our S2, which is equals to T. We'll write T here. Minus 3. Okay, square. Then plus Y2. Our Y2 is minus 5. Then minus our Y1 is minus 14, all squared. Okay, so let's tidy up what we have under the radical sign. So this will give us T. Let me draw the radical sign again. So this will give us T plus 3 all squared plus minus 5 plus minus 14. That will give us plus 9. Okay, all squared. So this is equals to 9. Okay, so we have to kill off this square root sign by taking square of both sides. So if I should square this side, I'll be having 81. Of course, the square of this side is already gone because I took the square of both sides. So this will be T plus 3 squared, then plus, of course, 9 squared. So 81 squared is equals to, of course, I have to expand it. So this will be T squared plus 6T plus 9 plus 81. So if I move this 81 to this side, it will cancel out. If I move this 81 to this side, I'll be having 81 minus 81 is equals to T squared plus 6T plus 9. Okay, so T squared plus 6T plus 9 is equals to 0. Okay, the reason why I'm having 0 is because I actually moved this 81 to this other side. So it becomes 81, which is the original 81 that was there before, minus the new 81 that I moved down. Okay, so I have to expand this. So expanding this, I'll be having T plus 3, then T plus 3 is equals to 7. So what I have in those two brackets is equals to 0. So that T will be equals to minus 3. And we can say minus 3 twice because we're having two 3's there. So let's move over to the screen and see if our answer is there. So from our calculation, we actually got the value of T to be equals to minus 3. Since we are looking for one value of T, not two value of T. Okay, so from our calculation, our T is equals to minus 3. So looking at the options in the board, the one that agrees with our calculation is C, which is minus 3. Question 15. At simple interest, a man made a deposit of some money in the bank. The amount in his bank account after 10 years is 3 times the money deposited. If the interest rate stays the same, after how many years will the amount be 5 times the amount deposited? So let's move ahead. Of course, we said let P be equals to the principal. Then, of course, the number of years is 10. Then, according to the question, the amount deposited after 10 years amounts to 3 times the amount deposited. Okay, that is 3 times the principal. So in this case, A is equals to 3P. But we must not forget that there's a relationship between principal, interest, and amount, which is A is equals to P plus I. Okay, but our A is equals to 3P is equals to, so 3P is now equals to P plus I. So we can get the value of I here. by saying that I is equals to 3p minus p. That will give us 2p. Okay, so our interest is equals to 2p. But simple interest is giving us principal times rate times time all over 100. So we simply substitute our values into the equation. So we know that our interest is equals to 2p. Okay, our interest is equals to 2p. Then our principal still remains the same because this p actually stands for the money deposited. Okay, so p times rate times time, which is 10. According to the question, after 10 years, all over 100. Okay, so 0, we cancel out 0 here, so that we cross multiply. So this will give us 20p is equals to p times r. Okay, p times r. So this will give us pr. Of course, we are looking for the rate because we don't know the rate at which the interest is being paid. Okay, so for us to get the value of r, we will divide both sides by p. Okay, because 20p is actually equals to pr. So to get the value of r, we will divide both sides by p. So if I divide here by p, I will also divide the other side by p. So that p will cancel out p, and p here will cancel out this p. So that r is equals to 20%. So we know that the rate is equals to 20%. From the second statement, the interest rate stays the same. After how many years will the amount be 5 times the money deposited? Okay, so from that second statement, our new amount will be equals to 5p, because the amount that was originally deposited is actually p, which is the principal. Okay, so we know that amount is equals to principal plus interest. So that if we replace our a with 5p, we'll be having p plus I. So we simply make I the subject of formula here, so that our I now becomes 4p. Okay, what I did to get 4p was to move p to my left hand side. So it will become 5p minus p. That will give us 4p. Okay, so still using our simple interest formula, I is equals to principal times rate times time all over 100. Okay, so from the question, we're actually looking for the number of years. Okay, so we know that our interest equals to 4p. So we write our 4p here, then plus interest times the rate which we have calculated before, which is equals to 20%. So here we'll be having 20, then times t all over 100. So 0 can as well still cancel out 0. Then we cross multiply. So that will give us 40p is equals to 2p t. Okay, now since we are looking for the value of t, we can divide both sides by 2p. So I will divide there by 2p. I will as well divide my right hand side by 2p. So 2 will cancel out 2, p will cancel out p, so that we have t left. Okay, so that we have t left. Then p will cancel out p here. Then 2 can go into 40, and that will give us 20. So we can say, therefore, the number of years is equals to 20 years. So let's move over to our screen to pick the correct option. So from our calculation thus far, okay, the correct option is C, which is 20 years. Question 16. Evaluate the following limits: s squared plus 4x minus 12 over s squared minus 2s as s tends to 2. So let's move over to the board. So we are asked to evaluate this as s tends to 2. Okay, so first thing first is to check if there is any term that can cancel out if you are given question of this nature. So basically we have to factorize the numerator and as well factorize the denominator. So factorizing the numerator, will be having x minus 2 in bracket, then bracket open x plus 6 over of course, the common term here is x. So this will be called x bracket x minus 2. So if you watch carefully, you discover that we have a term that is common in the denominator and also in the numerator. So we can cancel out. So 2x minus 2, we cancel out s minus 2. So that we have x plus 6 over x left. Now, we can now substitute the value of x, okay, when s is 2. So we can now put it here. We can now put it into our equation. So this will give us 2 plus 6 all over 2, which is 8 all over 2, and that will give us 4. So let's move over to our screen to see if we have our answer there. Okay, going through the option, you discover that the correct option is A, which is equals to 4. Do you have any question? If yes, feel free to ask your question by clicking on the link in the description below. This will take you to my school website. There, you can ask all your questions, and solutions will be provided to you within a short period of time. The ages of students in a primary school were recorded in the table below. So we have age and we have frequency. So for age, we have 5 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 10. Then frequency, we have 29, 40, 38. Estimate the mean. Estimate the mean. So of course, we know from the question that this is a problem on group data. Okay, so to calculate the mean of group data, we usually use summation fx all over summation f. Okay, so but we will have to prepare our table. Okay, so in our table we need, okay, these are the age, so we need our class mark, okay, which will stand for our x. Then we need our frequency, then we need fx. Okay, so for the age we have 5 to 6, we have 7 to 8, and we have 9 to 10. Okay, so to get our class mark, what we simply do is we add the two numbers together. Okay, so we add 5 to 6. So 5 plus 6, that will give us 11. Then we divide it by 2. Okay, so 5 plus 6 is 11 divided by 2, give us 5.5. So we do the same to 8, 7 to 8. So we add it together, that will give us 15. Then we divide by 2. So that will give us 7.5. Now we'll do the same thing to age 9 to 10. So that will give us 19. Then we divide by 2. So that will give us 9.5. Okay. Now our frequencies are 29, 40, and 38. Okay. So to get our fs, we simply multiply the frequency by the class mark. So 5.5 times 29 will give us 159.5. Okay, then 7.5 times 40 will give us 300. Okay, and 9.5 times 38 will give us 361. So we add these values together, which is summation f. So if we add this value together, that will give us 820.5. Of course, we also get our summation f. So summation f will be equals to 107 if we add. So going by our formula, our mean s bar is equals to summation fx over summation f, which is equals to 820.5 divided by 107. Okay, and that will give us 7.7 to 1 decimal place. So let's head over to the screen and pick the correct option. So from our calculation, we got 7.7, and from our option, A is 7.7. So the correct answer is option A. Do you have better explanations or steps in solving any of these questions? If yes, please share this information with us by commenting the question number and the explanation you will love to share in the comment section below. Question 18. A committee of 5 people is to be chosen from a group of 6 men and 4 women. How many committees are possible if there is to be a majority of women? So this question is from permutation and combination, but this is a combination question because in choosing the committee of women, there is no specific order. Okay, so let's head over to the board and solve. So in the question, we are told that the committee of 5 people should be majority of women. Okay, so we actually have 4 women in the group and we have 6 men in the group, and we want to form a committee of 5 people. Okay, since we want majority of the people to be women, that means we can either take 3 women and 2 men, or we can choose 4 women and 1 man. Okay, so in combination this becomes 4 combination 3 times 6 combination 2, or means plus, okay, plus 4 combination 4 times 6 combination 1. Okay, so 4 combination 3 is equals to 4 times 6 combination 2 is equals to 15 plus 4 combination 4 is equals to 1 and 6 combination 1 is equals to 6. So let's tidy up all this. So 4 times 15 will give us 60 plus 1 times 6 will give us 6. So 60 plus 6 will be equals to 66. Okay, so let's head to the screen to pick our correct answer. Okay, so from our calculation, our correct answer is C, 66. Question 19. If matrix D is equals to 2, minus 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, minus 3, 1. Find D. Okay, find D. But because of the bracket D actually means determinant. So they're actually asking us to find the determinant of D. Okay, so let's head over to the board. Okay, so in this question, we are required to find the determinant of matrix D. So we are going to be using shortcut method to save our time. Now, using the shortcut method, what we simply do is just to increase the number of columns. Okay, so the straight numbers like this is what referred to as columns. Okay, so we increase the column to 5. So let's go 2, 4, 1, minus 1, 1, minus 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. Then you repeat the first column, which is 2, 4, 1. Then the second column, minus 1, 1, minus 3. You take a diagonal line across the first 3 numbers, just like this. Then you repeat the same thing. Okay, so you multiply out the 3 numbers. Okay, so this will give us 2 times 1 in bracket plus then the second one, which is minus 1 times 2 times 1 plus the third one, which is 3 times 4 times minus 3. So let's put the whole thing in bracket. Then we'll subtract the product of these other numbers from it. Okay, so that will be, let's open on that bracket. So that will be 3 times 1 times 1, which is this 3 times 1 times 1. Then plus, open bracket again, 2 times 2 times minus 3, 2 times 2 times minus 3 in bracket also. Then plus minus 1 times 4 times 1 in bracket. Then we close the big brackets. Okay, so 2 times 1 times 1, that will give us 2. Let's still put it in bracket. Plus minus 1 times 2 times 1, that will give us minus 2. Plus 3 times 4, that will give us 12. Then times minus 3, that will give us minus 36. Then let's close our bracket. Minus, of course, let's open our big bracket. Then 3 times 1 times 1, that will give us 3 in bracket. Plus, then 2 times 2 times minus 3, that will give us minus 12 in bracket. Plus, minus 1 times 4 times 1, that will give us minus 4, all in bracket. So let's sum everything up. Of course, 2 and minus 2 will go off because 2 plus minus 2 is 0. So we'll be having minus 36 left. Then we can put our minus 30. We can even close it. Well, let's close our bracket. Then leave our minus here, which is this minus. Then 3 plus minus 12. Of course, minus is stronger than plus, so it's going to kill off this plus. So we're having 3 minus this. That will give us minus 9. So minus 9 plus 4, that will give us minus 13. That will give us minus 13. Okay. Now, minus times minus, that will give us plus. So we are now having minus 36 plus 13. So minus 36 plus 13, that will give us minus 23. So the determinant of this matrix, according to our calculation, is minus 23. So let's head straight to the screen and get our answer. So option A is equals to 16, option B is equals to 14, option C is minus 23, and option D is minus 37. So from our calculation, the correct option is option C, which is minus 23. Question 20. A boat sails 8 km north from P to Q and then sails 6 km west from Q to R. Calculate the bearing of R from P. Give your answer to the nearest degree. Of course, this is a bearing problem, and a bearing problem often requires diagram. So we are going to be interpreting the statement there with diagram. So we are told from the question that a boat sails from point P. Okay, from there it's telling us that the P is the starting point. So, and it moved north of P to a point Q. And the distance between Q and P, according to the question, is 8 km. Then, from point Q, the boat sails 6 km. Okay, the boat sails 6 km to a point R. Okay, to a point R. So we can join these 2 points together, okay, to form a right angle triangle. So we are asked to calculate the bearing of arrow from P, the bearing of arrow from here. Okay, so in order to do that, we must find the angle here. So let's call the angle here theta. So we apply trig ratio. So of course the angle, the side facing the angle theta here is our opposite, while this other side is our adjacent. Okay, so that means we're using AOA, which is tan. So tan theta is equals to 6 over 8, and that will be equals to 0.75. Since we are looking for theta, we have to look for tan inverse of 0.75. So theta is equals to tan inverse of 0.75. Okay, and this will be equals to 36.9. Okay, 36.9. But to the nearest whole number, I think that will give us 37 degrees. So our value for theta here is 37 degrees. Now, since we are looking for the bearing of arrow from P, so we have to start our movement or measurement from this point, from north, until we get to this line. Okay, until we get to this line, connecting point R and Q. So let's do just that. So we measure from here to here. But we know that from here to here, from the starting point here, till we return back to where we started from, is 360 degrees. And we are looking for from this point to this line. So to get the angle from this point, our starting point, to this line, will now be equals to 360 minus 37 degree, and that will be equal to 323 degree. So we can say the bearing of arrow from P is equals to 323 degree. So let's move over to our screen to choose or to pick the correct option. So according to our calculation, the correct option is option B, which is 323 degree. I believe you are enjoying this video lesson. If yes, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and tap on the notification bell to get informed as soon as we release new videos.